Okay, I believe we are live now, so welcome everyone to Pathway to Pro Youth Finland. My name is Bernardo, I am an ex-speed rider, and I'm joined here by Jaakko Silvankorva. Say hello, Jaakko, you're on the screen right now, I believe, so...
Hello.
And...
Hi.
Yeah, we are just waiting here for one of our colleagues, Hendrik, and so yeah, we are here. It's our first live, and yeah, we are really happy for being here with us, watching this race. And this is a new event. We did an event last week, no, 2 weeks ago in the Netherlands, just. With a couple guys that we did a more or less a test event to test this out, and we felt that we could do something on YouTube, and so we are sharing this to the global audience right now, and so that everyone wants to see it. And yeah, I'm joined here with Jaakko Silvankorva. He is our flying Finnish from the team. He is from Finland, and he's our guest host for this event. And so Jaakko, go ahead and talk us a bit about this race.
So this race, it's gonna be exciting one because it's based on the course in Finland that's called the race course in Finland that's called Porvoon Ajot, which is one of the biggest races in Finland that's organized every year, and it's also the preliminary course for the national championships next year, so exciting to see how the racing goes on this type of terrain.
Okay, but do you have anything to add in relation to the race itself? If it's technical, for example, in terms of corners and hills and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do have a couple of hills along the way. One of the major ones will be in the beginning of the lap. Each lap there's going to be like a couple 100 meters long steep hill that everyone should be aware. It's going to be a hard one to tackle every lap. And then there is also a couple more hills, and then quite a many technical turns in the beginning of the lap when you enter the next new lap. So I think the beginning of the lap is going to be a crucial moment.
Okay, I believe that the audio from Jaakko is a bit low right now, so I'm just going to increase this a bit. So if you can answer on the comments if our audio is okay, so that we are sure that you can hear us well. Yeah, please write to us in the comments. Jaakko is watching the comments, so if there's any problem, just pick us up. We are live, so anything can happen right now, and yeah, go ahead and write to us, and if you check any problems or so in the connection or whatever. Well, and so before the race starts and we go to the RGT, we are going just to present here the video profile of the race. Yeah. For example, right now you should be watching the profile of the race, and yeah. As Jaakko said, there are some couple of small hills, but yeah, it should be a quite interesting course, and for our young riders, they should be taking like 50 minutes to 1 hour more or less, 30 kilometers, 3 laps to this course, and we'll see how the race plays out. We have really interesting riders here with us, and we have some ex-speed riders, some professional riders riding this course today, so for the kids to ride against them, it will be really interesting, I believe, and it will be a great experience for them. But before that, because we are here with Jaakko, and he's a Finnish, and we wanted also to get to know a bit more Jaakko. So Jaakko, tell us a bit about yourself, like a bit of your background in cycling, or before cycling, or why you joined cycling.
So yeah, I've been doing this sport of cycling for over 10 years now. I started from the really young age. I did also some other sports such as basketball when I was younger, but then I focused more on cycling, and then it all started from mountain biking and just doing that for fun with friends, and then over the years started doing more and more racing. And then when I was in the under 19 category, I took road cycling more seriously with the under 19 national team. They gave us a lot of opportunities to race abroad. Then I just developed year after year to this point. Now I joined XSpeed United Continental team for 2022 and really looking forward to race with them.
You had a great experience. Well, if you see Jaakko's racing career, he started in Finland. And can you talk a bit about your Finnish club, because this race would not be possible without the club that Jaakko will be talking about. Jaakko has already said that they organize a bit of race. So can you talk us a bit more about them, please?
Yeah, so our club is one of the oldest cycling clubs in Finland, and it's part of the more bigger of a sports club, Achilles, in Finland. The club is based in Porvoo, which is the venue for the race as well. And our club team has grown quite a bit now over the past couple of years, and now I would say that we are one of the leading teams in Finland right now. So we have quite a many riders like me racing abroad with other teams, and I think we have quite a good organization in our club in Finland. So I'm really happy to be part of this club as well as being part of XSpeed United.
Yeah, no, and one thing that we really like about also the club from Jaakko is that they already participated in the first race of Pathway to Pro, and so they seem already to be open-minded to this kind of projects, which is great for us because, of course, it's giving an experience for not only the Canadian riders. For example, there will be a Portuguese team racing today. There will be some riders from Great Britain, and then you have 6 or 7 riders from Finland, which gives this race international tone that it's really special for the young guys racing today. And we believe that we also have here Hendrik, I think, is already on our Zoom meeting. So if Hendrik could share the screen a bit and just present himself also to the YouTube audience, please, if he's there with us. I think he is. Yeah, here it is.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, Hendrik, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Really well. Been better, man. But still, we are here. We are alive. So, could you just present yourself and because Hendrik will be showing us the most of the race. He will be responsible here just for the RGT footage. So we will be just splitting around the screens a bit between me and him, and so we will be presenting the race like that. But before that, Hendrik, could you talk a bit about yourself, who you are and why you are here?
Yeah, my name is Hendrik Vermeulen. I'm also one of the riders for RGT. I'm from South Africa originally, but spent a number of years living in Canada and America. I currently live in Valkenburg in the Netherlands, where I work for Shimano within their bike fitting division, and I'm a product development engineer as well. So I work on developing new products for the bike fitting industry and everything that goes along with that. And then I also ride, like I said, for XSpeed United, and excited for the season.
All right, all of us are excited for the season. So we will show you the first pictures of RGT, the RGT game. So I'll just now present here. We are already 43 riders on the race. We can see already some familiar faces here on the RGT. We can see, like, for example, Dylan Barker that is racing today. She's a junior rider and she is racing also Echelon Racing Series and doing really well. We have also Johnny Blazevich is a Canadian rider that rode with us in Echelon Racing Series for X-Speed, and he was 12 last week on Saturday, so a really good result from him, and we are looking for him to one of the favorites to this race. We also have another rider from X-Speed United, Dalton Collins. He is our American rider and one of our Americans, and yeah, he will be raced here to get to just give a better professional touch to this race. And yeah, and then we have also here, of course, Canadian riders. Most of our peloton is from Canada, from the teams, the National Cycling Centre Almington, and from the team Attack Racing. But we also have some riders from Quebec, which is great. And one good thing about this event is that it's open for every category. And so you will have riders with 10 years old, but you also have fathers and coaches racing together and just sharing the moment, and I think this will be a really, really good experience for them. If you watch on YouTube channel, you will see that there's like a couple of photos that you'll seeing like on the bottom screen on the right side. It's just the main organizations that this event was possible, and yeah, we are really proud to be here. And the first company that I wanted to talk about would be, of course, RGT. RGT is a virtual reality cycling simulator that is available for PC, Mac, and Apple TV. Users from around the world are able to go beyond and connect, ride, race, and train together in a virtual reality that recreates the captivating culture of real-world cycling. Sign up for free on the world's most realistic indoor cycling app on rgt.com. This is one of our big sponsors, and we are really proud to have him as our partner in X-Speed. And so because me, Jaco, and Hendrik have raced a lot on RGT, and yeah, we could say that this is the most realistic platform in terms of cycling simulator and racing indoors. Jaco, what's your opinion about RGT itself, the platform?
Yeah, I see RGT as a cool way to ride indoors. You have some cool roads available there, and one cool feature is this magic roads that we use also for this event, that we can actually plan a real world route from wherever we want and use that in the virtual reality. So that's one of the best things about RGT, and in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, indeed. This is because, of course, today we are racing in Finland, but 2 weeks ago we were racing on the road or on the races from Amstel Gold Race. So this is quite an special software that we could use, and it really reflects the dynamics from the races from the outside actually. And now we are just 30 seconds away from the beginning of the race. The riders are already, I believe all the nerves from these riders are a bit, or at least they are excited. We have a couple of riders that will be here that will probably want to win the race. For example, last week we have a big fight for the victory. Well, we had Johnny winning solo, but we had in the junior category we had really strong riders. A really strong fight between Charles Bergeron and Brad Stewart. So we will see how this will play out today. Okay, and we are live right now, okay, and I believe that this, yeah, we can see normally that the start of the race it's really brutal from the get-go, and we will see how normally the first few minutes of the race are really hard for the riders. So we will see how these riders can actually manage the race. But I think we are having a bit of some problems right now for streaming. Okay, if you can on the YouTube channel seeing how is the streaming right now, just for us to check what we could do differently right now. If the streaming is alright. Okay, alright. As the race is unfolding right now, we have Dylan Bakker and Johnny Blazevic, of course, the two most strongest riders from the race already here on the front, trying just already to open the gaps. We are seeing 6.9 to 7 watts per kilo already on the race, which is crazy. And we have already the first pinch, and there's already a small separation. In the race, we have already two guys at the front. It's Milborn Tyne and Blazevic on the front, and we have Dylan Bakker in third. And already our Finnish is youth category. It's probably 15 to 16 years old. Is at the front. We have 4 riders at the front right now. And yeah, a small gap of 40 meters to Marchetti, Alex Marchetti and Zach Miller. There are 2 riders that we have to look at for this event because they really rode really well. But we have already a big separation from the first group. Okay. Right now we also have Dylan Bakker. Well, the groups are trying to join themselves. We're seeing that most of them are just trying to stay connected, the groups, but we are seeing a lot of big red numbers. So this means that this race is starting really hard with riders like with Johnny and we have riders, for example, Johnny Blazevic and Charles Bergeron. Already at the front, but we have already the main separation. Johnny is trying just to open a gap. We are seeing 480 watts, 500 watts already. This is impressive from him right now. This is doing a really strong effort right now. 6.8 watts per kilo, 7 watts per kilo. He's showing his strength already on the race today. And yeah, he's opening a big gap already, and he's 60 meters already. Incredible, Johnny Blazevic. And he's really racing for the victory. He's already opened a big gap, which is impressive from him. But in the back, we have for the second position and the third, we have Milborn Tyne, the Canadian that is racing, is alone right now, and is followed by Bormans. Jaakko, do you know Bormans, the Finnish rider? Is Cat2. Could you talk us a bit more about him?
Yeah. Kasper Bormans is a new name in Finland in the racing scene, but he has already shown some really good talent. Like we saw, he was racing with us in the winter in the cyclocross races, and he did really well in those races, even though he's so young and hasn't been around for that long. So I see a lot of potential in him as well.
Okay, yeah, no, but he's riding really well. He's the only rider that from Finland or from outside of Canada that is racing on the first top 5, and he's doing really well for the moment. In the front, we have a big gap from Johnny Blažević, opening a real big gap already, almost 100 meters, and then we have Dalton Collins, the XP rider, that is trying to close the gap, but it will be hard. But still, these guys already have. We can see that there's a big difference between riding professionally and riding in juniors and younger categories. These riders are not kidding today. So. But we'll see. Now for the back, we have Coban and Miller just connected in a group with Marchetti. These guys probably will be maybe focus on staying together on the race and just maintaining their together and seeing if they at least maintain a healthy gap between them and the groups behind, and then seeing what they should do for the races, the next races. All right.
Está todo pesado. Muito pesado.
Okay, right now in relation to the race, we continue to have Johnny and Dalton. The situation remains the same. I would just going to ask Hendrik. He can close his stream from RGT, because I think he's lagging a lot on Zoom, and so we will just need to use one camera. I use mine, and we won't have problems, because it won't be, at least in my screen, it won't have problems like with lagging and cuts. It won't be perfect, but at least we can see. You can see it on the race itself, just watching the race. But we can at least you can watch the race and not with a lot of lag, which it would be hard to comment. Okay, right now we have a strange shit already. We are 5 kilometers already, and we can see already that there's the groups. There's not a peloton already. We have 3-4 guys riding together, and this probably the course itself is. We can see that it's quite hard, because the groups already split it up, and the race really started strongly with Dylan Barker and Johnny Blažević going really strong from the beginning. And this could be a good opportunity for just commenting a bit more on the riders that are riding at the front. We have just presenting a bit, for example, Charles Bergeron that is riding here today. Charles comes. They have almost the whole family riding here today, and it would be nice just to mention the family Bergeron. Thank you for joining us today, because it's really a pleasure for you to be here. For those that do not know, for example, Charles Bergeron is from from Ontario. He was 7th on the Junior Road National Championships, and he was first in individual pursuit track nationals. So he's a really strong rider, and a rider to look forward on this race. Moreover, we have also Milborn Thai. Milborn Thai is also another rider from our pathway to pro teams, and he is from Toronto. He started cycling only in 2020, and he also he does mountain bike, road, and cyclocross. So he's also a really versatile rider, and he's showing that he has the legs right now on RGT. But we'll see how he goes with as the race progresses. All right. How do you see right?
It seems to be working well together.
Yeah, they seem to be all right. They already understood that. I think that Collins and Blažević are the strongest riders of the race, and so we'll see how they will play their strengths over the next few minutes. Can you add something about, for example, if we go back, we could see that, for example, we have a group of 4 riders fighting for the 8th position. How can these riders that are riding more in the back and stay motivated? For example, we have the riders fighting for the 7th. They already have a gap of 300 meters to the front, and so. For example, a question for Jaakko: how, if you were in this position, riding for 7th, and you see already a big gap to the guys that have run, what would you do?
Yeah, I just hope that, as there is only 2 people up front, that they will get tired of pushing hard just with that small amount of people up there. And if you have, like, in this situation, I think there's 4 people behind them chasing them, so maybe they can try to use the numbers in their advantage.
Yeah, we see that, for example, we have, so that the people understand the race situation right now, we have Johnny Blažević at the front, and he has already a gap of 400 meters to Dalton Collins, our ex-speed rider. And Dalton is riding solo, and he's trying to do a steady pace. But Dalton doesn't have a big gap. He has 200 meters for the group fighting for 3rd position, which Kasper Bormans, as mentioned by Jaakko. We have Charles Bergeron. We have our first girl, Dylan Barker. Our junior rider that we already mentioned. We have Milborn Thai, and then fighting for the 7th position, we have already also 4 riders: Coben, Miller, Marchetti, and Roux. And just to mention, for example, the first rider that comes to my mind right now, it's Marchetti, because Marchetti really rode strongly last week, and he's a rider from NCCH, and he lives also in Ontario, and he started also cycling. These people are amazing because they are already putting a really strong numbers, and these kids already only started in 2020, and so they are really good talented riders, and we are really happy to see them riding and racing really hard. We also have, for example, Coben on the race. He's a junior rider probably, or is Cat 1 racing in the Cat 1 category, and we have also Miller on this group. For example, Coben is from Ontario, and he's a mountain bike rider, so not trying his luck here in the virtual scene before focusing his efforts on the mountain biking. All right. If we go back,
right behind this group is really big.
Okay. All right. Just so I move
11 through 17.
Oh, nice. So yeah, and we have also a bit more riders. We have a rider that was mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago. can you talk us a bit about Mutanen? I believe it's his name. Can you pronounce his name well? Every time that I say Finnish names, I don't know if I'm pronouncing them quite well. So, can you talk us a bit about these riders?
Yeah, we're talking about Eino Mutanen, and he's a young rider, and he's riding really good, really strongly in the top 20 positions in the race right now, and he's looking to race there hard, and it's promising to see because he's also quite a really young rider. So it's good to see these young riders coming and racing hard, because this is also good training for them to race.
Yeah, indeed.
Maybe even some older or stronger riders.
Yeah, no, but for example, if these riders also probably started like 1 year ago riding their bikes, and you're already seeing them, like for example, Mutanen just put it like a minute at above 5 watts per kilo, which is quite impressive if you know something about cycling and power to weight ratio. So, I mean, and we have 50 minutes of racing already, so this kid is promising. And we also have our first Portuguese rider, and he's a junior rider, and it's Francisco Alves. I should be with him right now doing the live stream and supporting him, but unfortunately due to technical problems I'm not here with him. But just to mention him, is one of the most promising riders in Portugal in Toronto, because he's really good in the youth categories, and he looks forward to seeing now this year in his second year in the under 17 category, just to have more results and better results. He's riding for Continental Cycling. Continental Cycling is a Portuguese cycling team focused on development of youth riders and the junior women. And yeah, we are really proud to have him here, and especially for me that I'm Portuguese, seeing them here racing against international riders it's really, really good for him. And he's performing really well in fighting for the 11th position, so which is really, really nice. Okay, and Hendrik, are you following the race on the screens? Can you add something else to this?
No, I think it's really good and exciting racing. There's quite a handful of groups together, which is good to see, especially in RTG. The group goes so much faster than the solo rider, just like in the real world outside. So watching riders group up and ride together, it's for a more fun and more exciting race. So it's really good to see.
Yeah, indeed. But at the front, the front riders are really, really trying to hammer down and trying to open gaps, because the group that was fighting for third position now has split it apart into two. We have Casper Bormans and Charles Berger on opening a gap in relation to Dylan Bark and Milburn Ty. And so we'll see, these riders are fighting for the third position, and they know that if they drop already the other two riders, they probably will fight for the third position and maybe having a really good result. And for example, Casper Bormans could win the Cat 2 category today, which is really good for him. And of course, Charles Bergon being the best junior of the day. So I believe that these riders will now collaborate and trying to open a gap in relation, for example, to Milburn Ty, that is fighting against Casper Borsman in their age category.
Yeah, and we should also mention Baker, who I believe is the first female rider on the course so far.
Yes, indeed. She is already used to these events of the RGT, and last week she did the races, the Intelligentsia Cup in RGT and the Crybaby Hill. So she knows how to race here, and she's proving that she has not only the expertise in racing, but she also has the engine to race here, which is great. And you can see, for example, every time there's a kick of 11%, this 11% climb is really, really hard. And you can see her put like those, when you see red numbers on the screen, you know that these people are really pushing hard, and it hurts just looking, because to do this live stream we have to have people writing for us to comment and to be as spectators. And for example, I have my mother pedaling and she's screaming in pain just to climb on that 12% spin, so it's really fun to see actually from the outside. But I believe it will hurt a lot for the riders, and they have to pass that at least 3 times. But anyway,
yeah, I like short, steep climbs, and I'm kind of happy I'm not racing today.
oh yeah, if you see down on the bottom screen, you see like the profile of the course, and when you see red, when you see red on RGT, it's really scary, because you know how you have to push really hard on those climbs. But especially for this race today, we can see that, for example, this will be a race of elimination. Johnny Blažević did this elimination, and he now is pacing himself. But of course, as the race progresses, we can see that Dalton Collins, our XP rider, is closing the gap to Blažević, because he had 400 meters of gap 10 minutes ago, and now Dalton has closed it to 270 meters. So maybe at the end of the race we might have these two riding for the victory, because of course they already did 14 kilometers, but we have still remaining 18 kilometers. So we'll see if the Dalton is able to close this gap. But if we go, because the other 3 riders, all the other riders, the Casper Boardman and Charles Bergon, are already too far away, 700 meters. It's already a big gap, and we can see that they are riding solo. And for example, we know that Johnny Blažević and Dalton Collins are bigger guys, and they can put like 340 and 350 watts for the whole duration of the race. So it will be hard for Casper Boardmans and Charles Bergon to close this gap. But still, really good effort from these junior riders and from this Finnish guy.
Yeah, and some riders really like being solo, and they thrive in that situation. They can get in their own head and just crank out the watts, and then other riders really need people around them. And when they are solo, it's a really tough day for them. So everybody's a bit unique in that way.
Yeah, indeed. For example, we see that if we look a bit as for example, Dylan Barker paces herself, we can see that she doesn't go really at the big. We don't see like huge spikes in power. She likes to remain steady, but we can see that she's always suffering, because her heart rate, for example, is at 178, which is of course really high. So it's crazy. Yeah, and for example, she's commenting on the race that as she is now with Milburn Thai, and so they are racing in different categories. So why not they could work together and try to, if they work together, of course they will be faster and try to catch Charles Bergon and Casper Boardmans. If you are racing in different categories, of course you want to race together with the other rider just to go faster. And you can see
and I saw Milburn try to attack her on one of the earlier climbs, and maybe that's what prompted the message. It's always smart to work together if you can.
Yeah, indeed. And you can see that, for example, on the race, Milburn Thai just answered her, and yeah, they are now going to collaborate a bit more. And which is really good to see. And these different tactics, even though everyone can see this, but of course it's nice when you're communicating and the other rider is willing to do the right thing and trying to get to the finish line, at least the next 7 to 8 kilometers, pushing along and pushing together, and so that they can ride faster. Now,
and with a group of 4 chasing them down, if they don't work together, there's a good chance they get caught.
Yeah, indeed, because they have only 200 meters, which on RGT is like 25 seconds. So, and of course, we have here Marchetti and Coben and Miller, for example, and we want to mention here Rue. Rue is 13 years old and is racing here on ninth, riding for the ninth position, and he also started cycling in 2020. So he's just interested in road cycling, and he's new to cycling to competition, and so it's really surprising, not surprising, but really good to see that he's riding here at riding against really strong riders and putting a really strong performance, because all these riders will be probably averaging above 4 watts per kg for this event, which is for a 13-year-old, it's really strong. So, but if we go further back, we have the other Bergeron. It's probably we have the riders riding for 11th position with Mutanen and Bergeron and Skepaniak, and we have this rider of 3, and then further back we have another 3 3 riders chasing them. Probably this group split it on one of the hills, and now they're trying to close the gap. We have Felipe Alves, Spencer, and Mann. But I believe that these riders can still join together if there's no collaboration between them. So, but for example, the riders further back, for example, we have Marcinuk and Payne. These riders are also Katsu riders. They will probably want to ride together, just because they are not fighting for the first few positions, and so they might want to stay together because they already have a big gap in relation to the group that comes behind. Then, for example, on the 19, 20, and 21 position, we have 2 Portuguese. The second female rider, I think, riding from Portugal, which is Iris Chagas. She's a junior rider, and also Afonso Gomes, which is also a Portuguese rider and is a junior. And while in the last event, for people that rode this event, they know that they saw a big Portuguese rider with a lot of good numbers, and now today they did some calibration on the trainers, and now we're seeing that his numbers are more realistic to what he can perform. But at least they did the effort. So shout out to the Portuguese team to trying to do the game, turn the game into a more realistic race. So. Hendrik, where are you now? Are you watching the race at the front, at the back? How is the situation right now from where you are seeing?
I was at the same spot as you, that I can jump back to the front. Blažević is still on the front, just in his own world, time trialing away with Collins chasing behind him. I think the gap's holding steady for now at about 300 meters. So not much change there with Bergeron and Foreman still working together to try and secure that third spot, really, or fighting for it, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. But they are doing the smart thing, and probably they will remain like that. I believe even on RGT with these 2 riders, I would ride with I would, in my opinion, I would ride together until like 3 to 4 kilometers to go, and then maybe just relieve a bit of pressure just to prepare for the final kick. I don't know which one of them will be the strongest sprint. So if they don't trust the sprint, maybe they could be on one of those steep hills trying to open a gap on the final lap. But we'll see how they will play out tactically.
Yeah, Jaakko, what's the finish on the course like?
The finish is there is a shallow climb, like 1 kilometer to go, but I think there is it's not a place, or maybe you could attack there. 1 year in the real world, the race was decided on that small race when the winner made his move and went away to do his solo, but it's not that steep, so I don't know if it's suitable for in the virtual world for an attack. But Otherwise, I see a sprint finish in this race.
Yeah. Just for an off comment, if you watch right now Spencer is really on the 14th position. He's really struggling. His heart rate is at 198 for already a minute or so. He's really struggling to try to keep up the pace with the group fighting for 11th position. And I mean, when you see these numbers, you know, if you know something about heart rate, you know that the maximum heart rate is like 200 for most people, and most people cannot do 200. And this kid is already putting 200 beats per meeting for like 2 minutes, and he's really strong. He's trying to hold on the wheel, but he's still, there's always a small gap that he has to close, but we'll see if he can maintain himself, because if he can survive here those small pinches, he can like recover a bit and lower his heart rate and maybe take a drink or so, because he was really strong at the moment at the back.
That's the most painful place to be in cycling, is so close but so far away, and you know if you can just close that gap, it gets easier again. But sometimes it's takes all your strength just to close a small gap like that.
Yeah, you can see that, for example, his heart rate just dropped 10 beats per meter. He really went to a deep place right now, and he's really trying to spin the legs right now just to take a breath. I mean, when this happens on these runs, it's just crazy. But if you have this minute relief, then you can go back at the pedals again and push hard. Anyway, in the fight for I believe the 5th position, the group just got together, and we have a big group actually riding with 5 or 6 riders riding together, and it will be interesting how they will. I don't think they are working properly together, because Charles Bergeron and Kasper Bormans opened a big gap, but we'll see how these 4 Canadians will work out, because, for example, we have one rider from Catch 1. We have 2 riders from Catch 1, because we have Zach Miller, which is a junior rider. It is Catch 1. So, and then we have Dylan Bakker, the first girl of the race, and then we have 2 riders riding for Cat 2. So all these riders, we have 2 riders riding against each other, but so we will see how they will play out, if they will mark themselves and seeing how, or if they will actually work together. But it's complicated when you, for example, when you are in such a big group, in a group of 5, and you want to work together. I mean, how can you manage this, because all these riders are young, and so how, for example, on the RGT you can control this a group like this? Do you have any opinions on this? For example, if you have been in race situations on RGT like this, that what would you? How can you manage to stay within the group, or that the group stays connected?
Yeah, it might honestly be a good strategy to go to the front. Usually you don't want to be on the front because it costs more energy, but if you can set an even smooth tempo on the front that's just hard enough to discourage people from attacking the group, it might actually be a calmer and easier ride for everybody. If you're in a group that seems just to not be able to work together, you might have to just be the one that shows you're willing to work and sort of starts that teamwork.
Yeah, but we can see that every time these riders are trying to really push, we see a lot of red spots normally on the race, and if we see a lot of red spots and high heart rates, it means, and a lot of spikes in power, maybe they are not collaborating as well, and that's why they are, for example, Charles Bergeron and Bormans already opened 800 meters, so this means that these riders are not collaborating within themselves. And
no, they are not.
Yeah, because I believe that, of course, Dylan Bakker and Milburn Ty of course, we saw that Dylan Bakker just wrote to Milburn just to collaborate, and they did collaborate, because they caught the other 3 riders. So really well done. So, but now just to make mention here at the front, we continue seeing Johnny Blazevic on his time trial of the day, just hammering down 460 watts on the climbs. 11%. It's just amazing to see what this guy is doing right now. He's really motor pacing this race. We can see, for example, if you see on the graphic on the top, you see that his power is really steady. He's really tittying all the way to the finish, and he has 10 kilometers remaining. So really well done. You can see that also his heart rate, of course he's suffering because his heart rate is at 174, but you can see that he's really steady at 340. He knows that he cannot back down, but he has a small margin in relation to, for example, Dalton Collins. And for example, Dalton Collins is also trying to, you can see all the riders on that 11% pinch just try to hammer down and do it as fast as they can. For example, Dalton Collins just put 460 watts for the climb. So really strong numbers from these two riders, and they have a big separation from the rest of the guys.
Yeah, it's been a really impressive ride from Johnny so far.
Yeah, indeed. Well, and before we get to the end and the final decision, we will just go back just to remind we have like 5 riders fighting for the top 5 together after the first 2 groups. Then we have for the back fighting for the 11th position a group of 4 riders with our second Finnish rider and Bergeron and Spencer and then we have a solo Portuguese rider. He was dropped from that group. Well, let's see if he can maintain his 15th position on the race, Francisco Alves, and he's trying to maintain himself at solo. He has 200 meters from the other 3 riders riding at the back. We'll see if these riders collaborate in the 16, 17, 8 position. They might be able to close the gap to Francisco Alves, because he only has 200 meters and we have already for these riders 12 kilometers to go. So we'll see how it plays out, and then already a big gap to Bergeron and Iris Chagas and Afonso Gomes. We can see that the Portuguese just did an alliance. The Bergeron just went solo, and it's really good to see that he's trying to just hammering down. I believe that he maybe, I don't know if it's the father of Charles. I believe that he is. So shout out to him. Really good strong ride today. And also I mentioned to Mutrichard, she's a junior girl, so really nice to see her as well. She's fighting against Iris Chagas, and actually they are riding again for the second position, I believe, in the female category. So this is also a quite interesting race to watch for the 21st and 22nd position. For the back, we have our first British on the British jersey, which is nice to see, which is looking good. Not as good as X-Speed, of course, but really nice to touch from her. And and just for example, on the back, we have also Velux and Buxkowski, and the last girl from the Portuguese girl also riding solo. So on the 26th position. But she has all these riders are doing their best. Most of them are young. We can see, for example, more probably under 13. So shout outs to all these kids that are riding on RGT and doing their best. We are not mentioning as much, but we will just let the race finishes, and then we return back and talk a bit about all these kids. They deserve really to be mentioned on this race. All right, let's go to the broad front. Okay, at the front, we have continued seeing the performance of the show of Johnny Blazevic, And I believe that, for example, now they are in a flatter part, and Dalton is trying just to maybe just maintain. I don't think that he will try to continue overpacing and trying to catch Johnny Blažević, because it's already 500 meters, and I don't think he will be able to close it. And we can see that, for example, Johnny Blažević is still. We can see that his heart rate is still remaining quite steady. His power is continuing to going up and down in the power, increasing when it's steeper and decreasing when it's less steep. So we'll see how what they will play out. It's not as amazing as if they were riding together, but of course these guys are doing, if you see their numbers, I mean, try to ride at 400 watts for 1 minute and you'll see that these riders are really motor pacing this course. They make it look easier actually, so you're not hearing right now Jaakko Sillankorva because we are having some problems on the live streaming itself. So he doesn't have like the cameras for the event really live. But anyway, from what you're seeing, Jaakko, right until so far on the YouTube channel or hearing us talk, what do you think of how the race is the race what you would expect, like with so many gaps?
Yeah, because as there's so many different ages and like different genders even in the race, so I was expecting that the race will explode quite a bit. And as you can see, there is mostly Cat 1, Cat 2 riders towards the front, and then some younger riders a little bit further back. So that's quite understandable, and we can see, for example, Kasper Bormans is doing really nice job. He's just trying to secure the first place in the Cat 2 because he has a good gap to the next Cat 2 rider in his next group. So he's doing really good. They're up there.
Indeed, no, it's really nice international touch to our event, showing that all the riders that are here are doing an amazing effort, and we have almost a podium of 3 different nations and from 2 different continents, which is great, and it's really good to see. Now we are approaching the final end for these 3 riders, the front riders. We have, of course, Johnny Blažević, 4.5Ks to go, still hammering down 350, 360 watts. It is TT pace for those that do not know. We race against him, but so we know more or less how much he can give. But he's right now just controlling the pace and checking the gaps to Collins and making sure that he can stay away and celebrate on the final kilometer. And so, Johnny, if you're watching this, if you can film the final K or take a picture of you celebrating, it would be great for us, just for us to take that joy, because we don't know if the avatar will celebrate when he passes the finish line. But anyway. Right now, also, we could see the good collaboration of also Charles Berger on what a ride from him, because it was able to open the gap from the group fighting for 5th position with Kasper Bormans. So shout outs to him. They made the wisest choice of remaining together with these 2 riders, and so now they are fighting for the 3rd position, and probably we will see an interesting result now at the end with in the last 5Ks. Here at the back we can see already also a lot of red numbers with Zach Miller trying to open a gap, and it kind of did. He's kind of opening a gap, actually, opening 20 meters in relation to Dylan Buchan and Alex Marchetti. We'll see if he can remain like that. Yeah, he's opening 25 meters, 30 meters. Let's see if and you can see that he's really riding hard, because 190 of heart rate, which is really bunkers actually. And he's trying. It's 5Ks to go, but let's see if it wasn't too soon, because 5 kilometers to go is still 10 minutes of effort, and riding solo if you're not at the legs, it will be hard. But of course, we can see that he's pushing above 5 watts per kilo most of the time, but Dylan Barker is closing the gap, and she's really closing her hard at pushing at 6 watts per kilo right now with Marchetti. Marchetti is trying to hold her wheel. Really strong ride from this girl, but we'll see. But of course, we see that despite she's putting good watts per kilo, Zach Miller is just pushing more watts, and so he's able to maintain the gap. And with 5 kilometers to go, we'll see right now, because it could happen that even though they are pushing really hard, as they are two, with the advantage of the watt saving that riding together, they could manage to catch Zach Miller on the final stretch.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning that in anything under 5%, generally, the pure watts matter more than watts per kilogram. So with Zach Miller just being a bit older too in this case, you know, it's something when you race with so many mixed categories, it's you tend to be a bit heavier and just have a bit more power, even though the watts per kilo might not be as good. This tends to favor just bigger and stronger riders.
Yeah, but you know, he's opening a gap, and you can see that. But he's pushing, he's going all out right now. You can see that, yeah, on the small kicks, really trying to go above 500 watts, 400 watts, and trying to hope the gap, maintaining his heart rate at probably his maximum heart rate at 192, which is crazy. And now, but and for example, at the back they are also Marchetti doing 198 heart rate, so also at the limit, pushing as hard, trying to close the gap, and I think they are closing. We have 40 meters. Yep, they are closing.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the top left, you can see they're so close to getting that draft effect.
Yeah, indeed. Wait, here, yeah, exactly. They are really close, and they know that it's now or never. So, but we'll see if they. Of course, it's hard to talk, but when you're riding at the limit and you want to push the pedals and the pedals don't turn, it's really complicated. But yeah, it will be interesting race. But now we're just going back to the front, because it's the last mile of Johnny Blazevic. He has 400 meters to go, and just to give him we do not follow him a lot, so we are going to follow him a bit closer right now from the last K and a half. And for example, Dalton Collins is now pushing above 600 watts on the final hill of the course, really pushing hard just to finish strong and showing a good performance of the X-Speed rider. And yeah, also we'll see how Charles Bormans and Casper Bormans and Charles Bergeron will play out right now, because we are heading into the final kicks, and we'll see how it plays out. At the back, Zach Miller was caught by Dylan Barker, but they left Marchetti behind, so it will be interesting, a fight. We'll see if Dylan Barker can get a top 5, which will be really good for this girl, and showing her straight on RGT. And Marchetti is struggling right now, and Miller is trying to open the gap. Amazing race from these three riders, really giving us some excitement at the end. But now we're just going to the finish, and 700 meters for Johnny Blazevic. Well done, mate. It's really good to see it. And next week probably you'll be riding on with us on a Hechelon Racing Series. So a really good preparation. We can see the watch pushing 380 watts, 400 watts. Just continue hammering down the pedals until the finish stress. We can see that this course at the end is a slight downhill, so it will be tricky for the young guys to finish the race. But yeah, well done, and Johnny, and you deserve it. Almost 800 meters of distance between you and the other riders, so really strong, and he's pushing 1,000 watts for the victory. Amazing. just to show him that he still had the legs to continue pushing, and he won the race. And Dalton Collins now for the back, nice effort from him. He probably was surprised by how fast the race started, and so he let Johnny go, and now he probably, it was a bit of a mistake starting a bit too soft, and he will now finish. But we are going just back because Casper Bormans is pushing really hard, trying to drop Charles Bergeron, and we'll see, because it's quite hard for him. But now we're just going to Dalton Collins for him to finish the race. 200 meters from Dalton Collins, going on the second place, actually catching Modichar, the female rider that still has a lap to go, but still really well done for him. And now he's just cruising along till the finish line, 200 meters, and he will ride for second place. Well done, and bringing XP to the podium for us. And now we'll go back now for the third position, 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometers for Charles Bergeron and Casper Bormans. We'll see how they will tackle. They are playing the cat and mouth race, and as we have 1 kilometer to go, we have Zach Miller just hammering down on that final hill and opened the gap to the Dylan Barker. He opened 70 meters, and now he's pushing really above 190, and yeah, well done from him, because he was the first to try and to open a gap, and he did it. Well done, really well done. And now we just have to maintain the pace and going all the way to the finish. But now we just see who will get to the podium, if it will be a Finnish or a Canadian. Any bets, guys? How do you think?
I'm rooting for Finland.
Of course he is, and we'll see how it plays out. This will be really interesting, a third place. And of course, Casper Bormans will win his category, the Cat 2 categories, and we'll see. You see that he's playing he's playing a bit, because yeah, really interesting. They're playing the cat and mouse until the end. 600 meters to go. Let's see if Charles Bergeron can use his age and bring home the third place for Canada and for National Centre Cycling Hamilton. All right, 400 meters. They probably will launch. 200 meters to go. Normally it's the distance. And yeah, they are really playing. And yep, and no, they launch it. 300 meters to go. They are launching it. 13 watts per kilo, 800 watts for Casper Bormans, but Charles Bormans is also trying. It will be to the finish. 900 watts. It's really struggling. Oh my God!
It's gonna be so close.
Charles Bormans bring Charles Bergeron. I'm sorry, they brings the third place to him, and really well done. This was close. Well done, guys. 14 watts per kilo on the final sprint, just to finish strong. Really well, and yeah, really close off for real. I mean, amazing, awesome. And I'm sorry, Jakob, but yeah, you have to contend with a fourth position with Casper.
Yeah, but he did really well. He was. We have to mention he was the first. Yeah. Clearly the first rider in the Cat 2. So
yeah, well done.
He nabbed that easily.
Exactly. And now it's Zach Miller, cruising along to the finish. He knows that he has a big gap, and you see this power just dropping to 100. He will finish also on the third spot in the Cat 1 category, and of course Dylan Barker. What a ride from her! She will be winning the women race. And yeah, really well done, and she's also continued pushing all the way to the end. And also for fighting for the 6th position, we have also a sprint. Let's see who wins. It seems that it's Rue, 13-year-old Rue. No, maybe I don't know, my lagging. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, some problems here with the Wi-Fi connection, but yeah, well done from all of them. And yeah, It was. Can you confirm it? I don't know. I haven't saw it. Probably the internet went down a bit.
Yeah, it was Rue, 13-year-old Rue that won that sprint. That was really impressive.
Indeed. At the end, we have Marchetti and Coburn also finishing there, and now we have Milburn that he was dropped. He could not follow. He first worked with Dylan Bacher, and now, but he could not follow the other 3 riders. But really well done, nevertheless, from him. And he has 1K to go, and of course, and now we can cruise along because we know that there's a small descent going down and to the finish, and so he will be top 10 today, and I believe he will finish on 3rd overall in the Cat 2 category, or I don't know, maybe. I think so. I'm not sure about the other 9, but yeah, but still a top 10 for this ride. Really strong. And yeah. For the back, we'll also have a sprint for 11th position, but we just going to continue here with Milburn because, of course, he did a really strong, and we will mention, and they even communicated during the race with Dylan Bacher, and then when they caught and then Zach Miller started attacking, he wasn't able. He was the first to get dropped, and so he had to just cruise along, not cruise along, but remain the effort steady until the finish. And yeah, you go take home the 10th place on the final. All right, now of course they will finish, and so I will go back to the fight for the 11th place with the second finish of the race, Mutanen, and we'll see how this will play out with. The brother from Berger, another Berger in here, and we can see already they are 600 meters and they're already putting high watts, and yeah, they are trying to open gaps and everything, and it will be really interesting. 500 meters to go, and we'll see who will win this sprint. They are really. Someone tried to surprise, but they could not open a gap, so it will come down probably to the last 300 meters and seeing an amazing sprint again. And you can see already the red spots are happening, 10 watts per kilo already, everyone kicking up, and we have Bergeron pushing 14 watts per kilo, 600 watts, really pushing down, and I don't know who is at the front right now. Spetaniak probably. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it is him. Yeah, okay. Right now, Spence at 12th, Berger on 13th, and Newton in 14th. Nice job from them. And we have in 15th we have Martinuk, another Kazu, another kid riding and with 800 meters to go, and he's riding together with Payne. So let's see if they will fight for this 15th position, which is also always an honorable pace to be in. And of course, there seems to be they're riding together, and well done from them. And we'll see if they give us a small showdown at the end, and for us to delight. Let's see, and now we are seeing already 14,000 watts, 14 watts per kilo, and we'll see how this will play out. 10 watts per kilo, so I believe this will be for Payne. Yeah, he is opening a gap, and he will be 150 meters, and I believe that he will be able to secure his 15th position. So well done from him, and shoutouts, really shoutouts to him, right on. Okay, despite having a lot of gaps, we had actually interesting finishes with an amazing fight for 3rd position. Yeah, really thank you guys for the effort. This was brutal, I believe, for all of them. And we have also men finishing 7th place, and for the back we will have Francisco Alves. Oh, he's having dropouts, a bit of dropouts. You can see that his power is dropping a bit. He's having some problems, probably connection problems. But anyway, a really good ride from him nevertheless. 800 meters to go, and yeah, yes, just to finish, shout outs to Continental Cycling for being here with us, and yeah, for him to, because he had to use to adapt a bit his gear for today. So shout outs to him to continue to pacing and for doing this effort today. This team, the Portuguese team, will next week have track national championships, I believe. So this would be a great opening race for them for the next week, and the important weekend for them, definitely. All right, Hendrik, what are your thoughts about this race?
I'm happy I wasn't in it. It looked really, really hard.
Yeah, no, it was insane, I think, and yeah, if it was something, if I had to do it, yeah, I've seen all these riders with so many the heart rates and the power outputs, and Johnny pacing him during the whole race, pacing like that. I mean, I would struggle just to just to maintain myself, for example, with Charles or with Bormans. And in the 19th position we have Iris Chagas. She's a girl, a junior girl, and she will be the second girl to finish today. So yeah, she was able to maintain separate from Muchichard. So yeah, a second place for Portugal in the women's category. So well done for her. She's a well-renowned Portuguese rider. She has some interesting results in Portugal, some national championships results. Really strong rider national here in Portugal. So shout outs to her. And yeah, she will finish strong. So you can see that she is really pushing, hammering down till the end, because she knows that the gap is not really big. With our heart rate at 188, so really pushing her to the finish line, and will but she won't be caught by Muchichard because she's putting more or less the same watts per kg. So she was able to drop it. And so we have our second and third riders on the women's side. So yeah, we have already our podium completed. Okay. Really well done. All of them pushing hard until the end, and you can see that when you see the heart rates ramping up, yeah, it was amazing. It's amazing to see the dedication of these riders. Yeah. And that's it. We have 20th place. All right. Well done. And yeah, we'll stay here until our first British arrives, and we'll maintain our live stream on and give some more comments just of the race itself before we wrap up. Okay, just another shout out here to Afonso Gomez. Probably shout outs to his father as well. He's a great man. Rui Gomez he was able to calibrate the power meters from from Afonso. So yeah, thank you for that and for making the race honest, and yeah, really good to see it, an honest result from this, and yeah, shout outs to them right now, because I know they are watching right now. Okay, and we then, just to mention here, the first our first British arriving. They are also cruising along. Just they know that the race for them is they have almost 2 kilometers from the group behind. So yeah, it's just a question of getting to the finish line and finishing the race. Well done to them. All right, guys. So now I will just continue here with the RGT, but I will just put you a bit on camera as well, just for us to do some final comments on the race and everything. So if you can turn on the Zoom meeting, and yeah. So what do you think of all this? I know that Jaakko, you were following on the YouTube channel. I wasn't watching the comments or so. And how was the race for you? watching from a bit from the back, but hearing us on the comments. How do you feel about this event, for example, for Porvoo and for us as well as a pathway to pro organization?
Yeah, it was good to see everybody doing their best on the course. It certainly seems like a really tough course ahead of the nationals next summer, and it was great to see as well a couple of young Finnish riders out there racing.
Yeah.
Kasper Bormans did a really nice ride, as well as Eino Mutonen.
Okay.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And well, unfortunately, we have received some information that there has been some people with some technical problems. So
Yeah.
not quite everyone managed to make it, but luckily we got most of the people.
Yeah, and that's
racing.
That's the problem with racing online, but it's always hard, and even for us here doing the live stream, it's always complicated because of course we were having some lagging problems with the live streams, and so everything right now has to be a bit compromised, but still it's a work in progress, and we'll improve over time, and we'll be sure that in the next events these problems will be not affect as many riders as hopefully. So Hendrik, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it was a really good race, a really exciting race to watch, and looked really tough. And just want to say congratulations and good job to everybody out there. Yeah, everybody did amazing. Really, really strong efforts.
Yeah, indeed. And so just to wrap up here the live stream, of course there are still some riders finishing the course, and I just want to give a shout out to the second sponsor of this event that we chose. It's SpiderTech Tape and NRS bike brakes. They are proudly made in Canada. SpiderTech is obsessed with providing the best genealogy tape in the world, and you'll notice it with the quality of the SpiderTech products. Whether you're a medical professional using the brick cuts or self-applying using the SpiderTech eye stripes, the snap stick go backing paper makes SpiderTech the easy genealogy tape in the world to use. You can learn more about these products on spidertech.com. All right. So if we go back just to the RGT, just to wrap up here the Finnish race, we can see that here racing for the 23rd position, we will have another. Actually, we'll have a sprint here. We'll see. I think, so of course, two really young riders, Bukowski and a small girl here, and Vilu. Also, we'll see if they sprint because they are really pushing. We see the heart rates really high, so 270 meters, 260 meters, and now you have a sprint. Yeah, Vilu trying to hammer down, but really pushing hard. Bukowski also as well. So it will be actually interesting, really good from them, and yeah, they will probably. Let's see. We will play 200 watts, 200 arch rate from Bukowski. Yeah, shout out to her, 205 beats per minute. So she needs today she really needs to be mentioned. Really well done from her, even though she only finished right now. But yeah, she did her best, and we thank her for that. Okay, all right. So I think we will wrap up to this event, and so guys, I'll push you on the streaming again. So any last words before I go, Jaakko?
It was great to see people racing out there, and thanks to everyone who was part of this race in Finland.
Okay.
Hopefully we can see all of you next time as well.
Okay, Hendrik?
Yeah, I'll just echo that. Thank you to everybody that participated. Hopefully we see you at the next one.
Okay, well, for me, I just want to say before I go, yeah, just to, if you watch this race and you like what we did, yeah, just like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, if you took pictures of for the riders or family involved that took pictures on the rides, yeah, share them online, share this event everywhere you can, and follow our team, follow these projects. This was the first live stream we did, so we look forward to do more of this, and we hopefully with better quality and everything. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here, and we'll see you soon. All right, cheers guys.
Bye.